Hi everyone and welcome back. Mindy with Mindy Egan Design, and today I'm going to be showing you how I created this galaxy for my Mandala Maker stamp set, part of the Gina K Designs September 2018 release. So the first thing I'm going to start off here by showing you is the Distress Oxides that I'm going to be using for my galaxy background. Galaxy backgrounds are one of my favorite things to make when it comes to card making because there's so many different combinations you can make with it. So I get really excited when it comes to making galaxies. The first thing is I'm going to be using Bristol Smooth cardstock, and I have this trimmed down to 4 by 4. That is going to be a perfect size to fit in my wreath builder stencil that I'll be using. So I started off using Twisted Citron, and I just laid a little bit of color in that top corner. Then I came in with Mermaid Lagoon, and this is Picked Raspberry. And like I said, there's so many different ways you could put this color down. I just laid down kind of these strips of color and then put a little bit of that Wilted Violet down in the corner there. The pink and the Mermaid Lagoon are going to mix and create their own kind of purple in between, but I just wanted to throw a little bit more purple down there in the corner. Then I'll take the blueprint sketch and go around those edges. I like to protect my fingertips and my cardstock by using a little post-it note, and this just helps so I'm not getting fingerprints all over my background or help kind of limit how much ink is getting on my fingers. So once I have that down, I do like to clean up my mat here and there in between just so I don't get extra color in there that I don't want. Then I can come in with my black soot, and I'm going to go around those very outer edges and really darken up those edges. I know this is looking really crazy and it doesn't look like it's going to turn out to anything, but trust me, it does. So I'm just going to go around all of those edges, bringing the black in just a little bit into that blueprint sketch. I don't want to cover up my colors. I really wanted some nice, vibrant colors in the background of my galaxy. Then I'm going to take my jumbo sponge dauber and add a little bit of more Twisted Citron. Now, one thing I'm really careful about is I don't like to go into my galaxy background and ink blend and then dip back over to my ink pad, because then I'm getting black on my pink or blue on my green. So my sponges that I'm using, the jumbo sponge daubers, I wash them and dry them so I can reuse them for this purpose. And also my daubers on my blending tool, those are ones I have just thrown in a drawer that I've washed and cleaned. That way, when I'm done with this galaxy, I can wash them again because that black soot and blueprint sketch is going to be on those. So I'm just kind of careful that way when it comes to the galaxies. So I blended back over all of those colors using what was left on the sponge dauber or dipping in just a little bit. And you can see this is starting to shape up. Then I took some water and spritzed it onto my mat there and picked it up with a toothbrush and tried flicking it on that way. I didn't get quite the white speckles I wanted, so I put water on a block and flicked it on with a paintbrush. And now you can see I had some really good splatters there. So I just dabbed that up with a paper towel. And that is going to be the start of the galaxy. The finishing touch of a galaxy is you can use white paint, or this happens to be some white ink that I had picked up. I seen Laura Basson had used this in a video, so I wanted to give this white ink a try, and I really do like it. It has a really nice pop to it as far as standing out from that galaxy background. So again, trying out this toothbrush method and just flicking it off the edge of my acrylic block. And you can see I have some really nice white speckles on there now that really complete that galaxy look. I could stare at these cards all day. They're just so relaxing to me. The stamp set I'm going to be using is the Mandala Maker. So this is a really awesome stamp set. Rena had designed this, and there's so many different possibilities you could do as far as a design. This card kind of hit me out of nowhere that I wanted to use it with a galaxy background. So I'm going to start off by placing my cardstock into the Wreath Builder stencil. And I'm always starting it in that straight up position, not crooked, always start it straight up. And then starting off with my first image there, and I'm actually stamping with the VersaFine ink. This is a really, really wet ink. So you want to be careful not to get your fingers in there, smudge it, anything like that. So I'm just going to stamp that image in there, turn it to fit into my next stencil area, and I keep going all the way around. So I'm just turning it, stamping it, and turning it. And you can see this is shaping up to be such an awesome image. And the design that this creates in the middle is just super cool. I totally fell in love with this card. I don't even know if I want to give it away. It's Galaxy and it has this cool design on it. So next I'm coming in with some other builder pieces from the stamp set. And you can use whatever you would like. These are just ones that I thought fit together really nice. And I did the exact same thing. You could see I did speed up the process because it is just stamp and repeat that process. You stamp and turn, stamp and turn. Gina also has a lot of really great kind of starter videos if you're looking for more information about the Wreath Builder stamp sets or the Wreath Builder stencil. So I can link to those down below in my video description if you're looking for more of a starter video on the Wreath Builder. But you can see it's a really easy stencil to use, and these create some gorgeous wreaths. And this is working perfectly with these Mandala Maker designs. So there's a lot of little images on here, and I'm adding those into my card. So I always want to make sure too to start in that same kind of square position. I don't want my card turned diagonally when you're starting. You always want to start in that straightforward position. And just filling in those little areas. And you could have very well stopped with that first big stamp and left it at that. That would have been gorgeous too. It's totally your preference. Once I have those stamped, I am trying to hit this with my heat tool to kind of dry that ink up a little bit. Now I'm coming in and I'm using the Something Good in Everyday stamp set. This I thought matched so perfect. Good vibes. You have this awesome galaxy background with this beautiful design, and good vibes just really struck me as the perfect sentiment to add to the center of this design. So I'm being careful to line this up right in the middle there. I didn't want to cover it up with a circle piece of cardstock. I wanted to show the entire galaxy. So I'm prepping this one with an anti-static powder tool. Doesn't help. Not when I have this much ink on my cardstock, but I still tried. Showing you here, I'm having my paintbrush ready because I already know that I'm going to be swiping off some of the embossing powder. So I'm using the Versamark ink to ink up my sentiment and stamp that in the middle. And like I said, there's a lot of ink on here. I tried to dry it with my heat tool, but between the oxides and the VersaFine, this is just doomed to have embossing powder all over it. So I grab my sheet of paper and I'm using the Gina K Designs white embossing powder. And look at that, it's all over the place. And I knew this would happen, so that's why I had that paintbrush ready. And I'm just going to go through and I'm just wiping it all off. This was really quick to do. I just kind of did the bigger pieces, and then as I got closer to that sentiment, I was just really, really careful not to brush away the embossing powder on the actual letters that I wanted to keep there. I also kind of wipe off that paintbrush on my shirt and blow onto the card every now and then to help move that embossing powder off. A cool thing though is that even if you do have some white speckles left, it's going to look like it's part of the background. So it works out either way. I just didn't want it all over the place. Then I can go ahead and hit that with my heat tool. Next, I'm using the glitter dust, and this is in the iridescent. And I did spray this off on the side because it does have quite a smell to it, and you can see it has a gorgeous sparkle to the background. Once everything is dry, I will go ahead and add this to a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 card base. And that is going to finish off the Galaxy Mandala Maker card. I hope you enjoyed today's card, and I'll have all the supplies listed down below in the video description and also on my blog. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll catch you next time.